Hello everyone. I welcome you again to the lecture series of object-oriented programming using C++. We'll be going to study C++ class declaration today, which includes attributes and methods, and we will discuss one more topic, that is this pointer, in today's lecture. So what do you understand by attributes and methods? Attributes and methods are basically variables and functions that belong to the class. These are often referred to as class members. Attributes are one of the key features of modern C++, which allows the programmer to specify additional information to the compiler to enforce constraints, optimize certain pieces of code, or do some specific code generation. In simple terms, an attribute acts as an annotation or a note to the compiler which provides additional information about the code for optimization purposes and enforcing certain conditions on it. Introduced in C++11, they have remained one of the best features of C++ and are constantly being evolved with each new version of C++. Attributes are one of the key features of modern C++. Attributes are the features of the objects or the variables used in a class, whereas the methods are the operations or activities performed by that object defined as functions in the class. For example, if dog is an object of class animal, so we can create functions like what is the attribute could be the limbs, the eyes, they could become the attributes of that particular class, and the functions can become like animal family, that could be the member function for the particular class named as animal. Methods are functions that belongs to the class. There are two ways to define functions that belong to a class: inside class definition and outside class definition. In computing, an attribute is a specification that defines a property of an object, element, or file. It may also refer to or set the specific value for a given instance of such. For clarity, attributes should more correctly be considered metadata. An attribute is defined as a quality or characteristics of a person, place, or thing. Real-life individuals and functional and fictional characters possesses various attributes. For example, someone might be labeled beautiful, charming, funny, or intelligent. So these are the attributes of a person. So if I ask you what are the 5 attributes of God, so you can say wisdom, power, holiness, justice, goodness, and truth. So that could be the attributes of any person as well. So the class attributes specifies one or more class names for an element. The class attribute is mostly used to point to a class. A method is a set of code which is referred to by name and can be called at any point in the program simply by utilizing the method's name. Think of a method as a subprogram that acts on data and may or may not return a value. Each method has its own name. The methodology is the general research strategy that outlines the way in which the a function has to be written. Any description of the function can be placed inside the function body. So the data and functions within the class are called as the members of the class. Purpose of attributes in C++: to enforce constraints on the code. Here, constraint refers to a condition that the arguments of a particular function must meet for its execution. In the previous versions of C++, the code for specifying constraints was written in this manner. You can see the code. We have made a function named as f. If I is greater than 0, then we return I, else we return -1. So this code increases the readability of your code and avoids the clutter that is written inside the function for argument checking. To give additional information to the compiler for optimization purposes, compilers are very good at optimization, but compared to humans, they still lag at some places and propose generalized code which is not very efficient. This mainly happens due to the lack of additional information about the problem which humans have. To reduce this problem to an extent, C++ standard has introduced some new attributes that allow specifying a little more to the compiler rather than the code statement itself. One such example is that of likely. You can use switch as well inside a function. Case 1, case 2. If you want to return, then you can write return 1, else return -1. Class methods. Methods are functions that belongs to the class. There are two ways to define functions that belongs to a class, as I've already told this before. The first method is inside class definition. In the following example, we define a function inside the class and we name it by method my method. This is the name of the function. So here I have created a class named as my class. Then I have used the access specifier public. Inside the public access specifier, I have declared and defined this function void my method. The definition is cout hello world. Anything you want the compiler to print as it is, you will write that particular word in cout section. So then by using main, I have to first create an object of my class. So how you will create the object of my class? You have to first write the name of the class. In this case, the name of the class is my class. Then space, then the name of the object. Here we have used my obj, that is my object, is the name of the class. So whenever you want to create an object, you first have to write the class name, then space, then the object name. Then you have to call the function. So how you will call the function in C++? By using this object you have created just above this line, you have to use this object, then you have to use dot operator, then you have to call the function which is there in your class. So my obj dot my method, this is how you call the method in C++. Since this method is a public method, therefore you are able to call this function from main. If you have used private as the access specifier, then you are not able, in that case, you will not be able to call this function from outside the class. That is main, inside the main function, you cannot call the private data members. only and only public data members are accessible from outside the class. Generally, we put the methods under the public access specifiers and the attributes under the private access specifiers. So you access methods just like you access attributes by creating an object of the class and by using the dot syntax. The same way you access the attributes as well. Here in this example, although we have not used any attribute, but if there was an attribute inside the my class like integer a under the public specifier, then my obj dot a equals to 100 inside or any value inside the main class. This is how you will call the attributes if declared under public access specifier. If the attribute is declared under the private access specifier, then you cannot call that particular attribute from the main function. That will produce an error. You can try try executing this type of things, and you will see what type of error will come. So member function's name is visible outside the class if defined under the public section. It can be defined inside or outside the class as well. It can have access to private, public and protected data members of its class, but cannot access private data members of another class. Students, you have to keep this thing in mind very clear that private data members are not accessible outside its own class. You cannot access the private data members from outside your own class. Now next is outside class definition. To define a function outside the class definition, you have to declare it inside the class and then define it outside of the class. This is done by specifying the name of the class followed by the scope resolution operator followed by the name of the function. So here we have created the function my method under the public access specifier. I have only declared the function here. I have to define this function outside the class. So how you will define the function outside the class? Firstly, the return type of that particular function. Here in this case, the return type is void. Then the name of the class, that is my class. Then the scope resolution operator. Then the name of the method. And then the body of that particular method. The way of calling will remain same as it is defined under the public sections. So it is accessible outside the class as well. And the object will be able to call that particular method. So the calling part will remain same whether the function is defined inside the class or outside the class. The calling part will remain same. Firstly, you will have to create the object. Then by using the dot operator, you have to call that particular method. And here in both the examples, you must have seen that we have written one statement, that is return 0. Since the return type of the main function is integer, so you have to return some value from the code, otherwise you will get a warning. So for that reason, I have written return 0. I hope this program is clear to everyone. Next is this pointer. To understand this pointer, it is important to know how objects look at functions and data members of a class. Each object gets its own copy of the data member. All access the same function definition as present in the code segment. Meaning, each object gets its own copy of data members and all objects share a single copy of member function. Then, now question is that if only one copy of each member function exists and is used by multiple objects, how are the proper data members are accessed and updated? The compiler supplies an implicit pointer along with the names of the functions as this. This pointer is passed as a hidden argument to all non-static member function calls and is available as a local variable within the body of all non-static functions. This pointer is not available in static member functions, as static member functions can be called without an object, that is with the class name only. Here is an example of this pointer. We have created a class named as test Here we have used the private data members and private and public access specifiers both. Integer x is defined under the private access specifier. Void function set x is defined under the public access specifier. And there's another function called as void print under the public access specifiers, and we have used cout x in that particular function. The function body contains cout x. In the main part, you can see first you have to create the object of the class test. Then you have used the local variable integer x, we have set it equals to 20. Then by using the obj, that is the object of the class, you have called the function set x and you have passed the value 20. So this particular statement will call the set x function. The value 20 will be passed on to the integer x, and then the value will be assigned to x, and then you can print the value by using the print function. So this pointer is used to retrieve the object x hidden by the local variable x. So I hope it is clear to everyone. This example was self-explanatory. Thank you so much for listening to this video. We have covered the two most important topics in today's lecture, that is the C++ class declaration and this pointer. Hope all the examples were clear to you. Try practicing more of such programming examples so that the concept will become more clear to you. Thank you so much for listening to this video. Have a good day.